now live.
Okay. Good afternoon and welcome to the Niagara Fair School Board September 10, 2024 meeting. We have a different change in our agenda. We are going to conduct a public hearing for all comments from the public. Mr. Lee Waskin is going to entertain those. Board members and members of the public, please silence your cell phones. That will not interrupt the meeting. And at this time, Mr. Lee, would you explain the purpose of this hearing?
Well, following the Louisiana state law, we need to provide some time for a public hearing regarding the matter of roll forward. Roll forward is a function that happens every 4 years with the tax assessor's office. This is simply rolling forward to the new values. I was going to present and read in our resolution number 1 and number 2, since that will be the topic of this hearing. So I'll start here. The resolution is on the screen there. So just picked up number 2. So here we go. Number 1. Be it resolved by the Natchez Parish School Board of the Parish of Natchez, Louisiana, in a public meeting held on September 10, 2024, which meeting was conducted in accordance with the open meeting laws and additional requirements of Article 7, Section 23C of the Louisiana Constitution and revised Statute 47:1705B, that the following adjusted millage rates be and they are hereby levied upon the dollar of the assessed valuation of all property subject to ad valorem within said parish for the year 2024 for the purposes of raising revenues. You see a list here. This constitutional tax is normally 4.65, but with the values rolling forward, in this first resolution, you'll notice it says 4.51 mils. Special state parish-wide tax is 7 mils. The reason that one didn't adjust down is because that was just recently adopted and it automatically rolls forward. Consolidated School District 7, this is the BRE for District 7, normally it's 12. There's a roll back down a little bit. School District number 10, special for Goldana. This is the new tax that was just recently passed. Consolidated School District number 11, which is the old District 6, is now renamed the new District 11, which is now 8 mils. School District 9 BRE is 7. Consolidated School District 10 BRE is 19.81. Bond issues are not subject to the roll forward. They automatically happen, but I do have to mention them here. Consolidated School District 7, tax account 8 mils. District 8, 22 mils. And School District 9, tax account 6.6. Be it further resolved that the assessor of the Parish of Natchez shall extend upon the assessment roll for the 2024 for the year 2024, the taxes herein levied, and the tax collector of said parish shall collect and remit the same to said taxing authority in accordance with the law. The foregoing resolution read in full and roll was called for the adoption thereof. And then you see the certification of that. So once again, this is the one we have to pass. We pass generally one like this every year for levy. This is called our tax levy amount. And resolution number 2. This is the piece that developed.
Mr. Lee.
Yes, sir.
Before you move on, the Consolidated School District number 7, Special Goldana.
Yes, sir.
You said it was District 10, so
I'm sorry, that is District 7.
That was that millage that was just passed.
I'm sorry, yes, that's the one that just was recently passed.
We just want to read it into the record correctly.
Be it resolved by this is resolution number 2. This addresses the roll forward piece. Be it resolved by the Parish of Natchez School Board of the Parish of Natchez, Louisiana, in the public meeting held on September 10, 2024, which meeting was conducted in accordance with open meeting law and the additional requirements of Article 7, Section 23C of the Louisiana Constitution and revised Statute 47:1705B, that the taxing district voted to increase the millage roll, assessment roll for the year 2024, by the way, I left that blank. And when collected, the revenues for said taxes shall be used only for the purposes for which said taxes have been levied. Said millages rates are. Now you can see here in this one, it says constitutional statewide, the 4.51 was on the previous resolution. It's being adjusted back up to its 4.65. So these three here are the three that are related. And let me just let me get this right, put up on the screen so everybody's able to see it. These first three are the three that are impacted by the roll forward. So the constitutional parish-wide tax goes from 4.51 back up to its original number of 4.65. Consolidated School District 7 goes from 11.96 back to 12. And Consolidated School District 10, VRE, goes from 19.81 back up to its original adopted balance from the past of 20 mils. The bond issues stay the same. These Consolidated School District 7 tax account 8, Consolidated School District 8 tax account 22, and School District 9 tax account 6.6 mils. Be it further resolved that the assessor of the parish of Natchez shall extend upon the assessment roll for the year 2024 the taxes levied herein levied, and the tax collector of said parish shall collect and remit the same to said taxing authority in accordance with the law. The foregoing resolution was read in full, and the roll was called for the adoption thereof, and so forth. And we have to listen to nays and yeas. So that's the basic essence. Does everybody understand what we're doing here? It was just the with the fact that we have to adopt the first round first, and then we have to move the adjusted rate on these three taxing districts here.
These millages for the 2024 levy, those numbers are what was voted on by the public to accept, right? We can't collect anything over that, correct?
You can't go above what the public awarded us.
Right, and they awarded us.
But what's happened is the base went up because the tax assessor raised the base.
Right.
We can only collect what we were done, so we had to lower the rates in order to collect the same balance.
Right.
What we're rolling forward is we're rolling the value of what we did back up to our original. We're not collecting any more than what was originally elected to collect.
I think there was some.
Yeah, there was some confusion on that, that's why I'm asking the question.
It's confusingly stated. It makes it look like you're rolling forward. You're not rolling beyond the maximum you can collect. You cannot collect more than what was authorized by the public. You can't. So.
Okay, Mr. Lee, we'll start that public hearing now. And while we're doing that, members of the public that would like to make a comment on any agenda item, please complete a speaker form in the back of the room and pass it to us. The meeting will commence in 5 minutes, and we will have a roll call, our invocation, a pledge, and we will recognize 2 former employees of Taxpayer School Board that have passed away in the last week or so.
Mr. Walton, are you gonna have to read those resolutions again?
That's y'all's call.
I don't think so. I think he has read what we're looking at, what we're gonna vote on,
Good deal.
unless someone has a question about
You
it.
don't want to listen to me say it again?
We so like to.
I know, I'm sure you do. We just say we base the budget on roll forward passing. The budget that was adopted was based on roll forward passing.
approximately 20 days. We'll be entering the fourth quarter of the year. That's amazing.
I hope that the October board meeting is our last board meeting here. We'll be in our new facility, finally back over here. Hoping, we're over there by October 15th.
Yeah, if you see the gray part of that's the second to last step, they just have to paint it down, because it actually has the design and all.
Would have rain, it'd already be done.
Not on the front porch.
Yeah, what they're doing that part first, because, that's where they're gonna put the AC, and so they wanna be able to do that before, well, the AC needs to be placed in that part, that's why they're doing that part first. As soon as it's put in there, they'll need the, work around there. Top of the roof. Once they pop the AC, then they can put the carpet and
So,
all that stuff down the road.
I didn't know that.
No, we were,
But they finished the bathrooms, a lot of the flooring is done. The ceiling is, the lights are in. Oh my gosh, it looks fantastic. The floor looks really good.
Floor has a lot of, uneven, so we have to put down.
Yeah, that was the other.
Massive amount of
When they
floor.
built it, we had uneven flooring, so they were doing some floor patch to make. And we didn't realize like carpet spread
The carpet was down high in the floor. There would be where they were matching slabs, it'd be up like quarter inch to half an inch. That's a lot when it comes to tile.
It was funny when we called one of the guys from LDOE to get more some stuff. He goes, well, I understand the need for it. He's not been to Nashville before. He goes,
Ours is pretty bad.
I've been all over the state, and there's some pretty sorry.
so I heard the worst one was it East Feliciana? That they were able to redo theirs? I heard that was
East Carroll redid.
Carroll, that's what they were.
Had to adjust it, right? But it was
I heard it's bad.
yeah, bring us some.
just no money, people will spend money on that, all things, right?
It was also very good.
Well, all of them were built.
Yeah, they've got lots of them built, sort of around the same time.
Functionally, it's still okay.
It's okay, they got corrections like an old church down the road.
This concludes the period of public discussion. We are going to enter into our meeting now. Again, welcome to September 10 Niagara Superior School Board meeting. We follow a written agenda. Anyone that would like to comment on any of the agenda items should have passed a speaker form in. We are going to have a roll call, and we've got an absence today, and it's going to be a little different, but we're going to make this system work. Mr. Mike, can you do after we complete the invocation, the pledge, can you do a roll call for us? We're going to take a minute, a couple of moments of silence. Ms. Leila Harvey's going to offer an invocation. Ms. Rose, Mr. Gansky is going to offer the pledge.
My Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for allowing us to meet once again and pray that the meeting be done decent and in order. And Lord, we want to ask a special prayer for the children. Lord, continue to protect them at the schools and keep them safe, my Heavenly Father. And I want to say a special prayer for our secretary, Sister Rebels. Lord, let her know, in spite of the situation, that you are still in control and everything is going to be all right. She just got to trust and believe in you. And Lord, I pray for the other school board members or the school board workers that we have lost, my Heavenly Father. Just give them family strength and let them know that everything is gonna be all right. In your name, Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you remain standing, we'd like to recognize Mr. Ron Dean, longtime educator at Niagara Central High School, and Mr. Ed Evans, who passed away recently. He spent approximately 12 years as a trainer at Niagara Central. If you would, let's honor their memory. Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Mike, roll call, please.
Russell Danzy,
Here.
Emil Matoir. Here. Billy Benefield,
Here.
Stephen Harris, Dorothy McGaskey,
Here.
Tankia Palmer,
Here.
Reba Phelps, Leela Harvey,
Here.
Chad Frady,
Here.
Micah Nicholson,
Here.
Barbara Page.
Here.
We have a quorum. Thank you, board members. Ms. Harvey, thank you for that inspiring invocation, and Ms. McGaskey, thank you for leading us in the pledge. Superintendent, do you have any updates?
Yes, sir, I do. We have our friends from the fair. Ms. Lynn Lacaz would like to speak to us about what the fair offers. It's not just rides, it's also educational, and I think she may have some helpers.
Help is always nice. Always nice. Yes, thank y'all for having us. This is Zach Gibson. He's president of the Fair Board. I'm vice president. And so we just always work together. And this is just what we do with Kids Day. We came last year and spoke to y'all about it. And maybe some new ones here this year that that's the way it worked out. The rodeo begins next weekend. It's here on us. The 20th and 21st is the rodeo. Do I need to stay back here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm loud enough without it, but, anyway, we kick off the rodeo next week, the 20th and 21st, and then the following week is our carnival. And, like I said, Zach's our fair board president, and there's a lot more that's with us on the board that work and just help out so much, but we're the two guinea pigs is here tonight. But Thursday and Friday, the 26th and 27th, is slotted for our kids' days at the fair. And we invite all daycares, all of the schools, Natchez Parish schools, things like that, to the fair those 2 days between 8 and 12 noon. And we have, what's on the sheet right here is these are some of our presenters that we have at the fair. What's this, Jean-Baptiste? The fire department is always a big help to us. They bring the fire trailer out and show the kids how to get out of a house in case of a fire, things like that. And they also have the opportunity to do, like if a tornado comes, how to do that. Dare will be there. The library comes and reads them a story. Just kind of gives them, inside the blue building, they can sit down, they pick a few stories to read to them. The master gardeners are there. We also give the kids, Tractor Supply has donated a whole box full of different types of seeds. So every kid that comes will get a pack of seeds, take home, plant. Anywhere from green beans to beets to carrots, whatever. SWAT is there. The Sheriff's Department's a big supporter of our fair board also, and all the events that we have out there. They come and they let the kids go through the SWAT mobile and things like that and show them different things and just, kind of show them what they do, let them sit in it, and so they're not always afraid of it. School home-based health centers comes, the Marthaville Provençal-based schools, their center usually comes and they do anything from hand washing, teaching the kids how to brush their teeth, because this is second grade on down for all of this. So everything is tailored to those age groups. Beekeeper is there. He comes and shows them how to, about the beehives and how they do it, things like that. Echo Bus Services, I spoke to Jacob about coming and parking a bus there, and they're going to go through the bus safety and things with the kids. They actually put them on the bus and go through different things with them like that. And when I talked to Miss Felicia the other day, she said she was all excited, and she said, "Yeah, we're gonna get all kind of things together for the kids," and because they kind of got a handle on it last year as to what to do. They can also go to the livestock barn and see the animals. Some of our livestock kids will pull a goat out. We're gonna have lambs there this year, so they'll pull a lamb out for the kids to pet. Things like that. They can go to the exhibit building and see the exhibits that the youth and adult from around the parish put in. And then the carnival turns on the kids' rides and allows them to ride the rides. So they can go back there. One of the concession stands, or a couple of them, usually opens up and lets them, purchase cotton candy or, whatever if the teachers want to do that. So it's just a fun day that they can come and do, but it's also educational. So we make it to where, they have to go to a certain amount of these educational booths before they can go ride the rides. So it's, so it is educational for them to come. It's not just a fun day, but it is. And they can decide to eat lunch on the grounds if they want to. Some of them may need to get back to school for lunch or, whatever the case is. But there's no charge for the kids to do anything on the grounds. And what we've asked of the school board in the past was to help provide the payment for the buses. So that, no child would have to pay anything to ride a bus to come, for Kids Days. So, and I already kind of have that on there, so, and it's written, it's kind of been highlighted in caps. So, I mean, if you want me to take that out, I can, no, but thank y'all so much. But it's been in the past, and I did this kind of on a spur of the moment, but I've had a good, normally on that Thursday, we have anywhere from 300, maybe 400 kids, and on Friday we'll have probably 500 kids that come on those 2 days. The FFAs from Natchez Central and Lakeview will act as guides. Also our livestock kids, they'll act as guides. So they'll get them off the bus and they'll take them to these. So the teachers really just kind of have to follow them. They really don't have to do anything. So they'll take them as guides and take them to the things. And so that way we're kind of utilizing the older kids as leaders to be able to, to take the younger kids around. And they look forward to it. The schools call us, "Hey, do y'all still need us on Kids Days?" And things like that. ROTCs, FFA, things like that come together from Natchez Central and Lakeview, both of those days. So, and a lot of the things I get, we don't want to take them out of school, and I understand that, for those 2 days. So sometimes they'll rotate around, and things like that. So any help, we can get from y'all is greatly appreciated.
And
So,
board, every year I've been here, we have paid that out of general fund. It's a nominal amount, but it does impact the schools. So, and y'all, I think y'all started that when I was first here. I asked y'all, and we just kept that precedent going. So.
yeah. Well, we've done it. Wait, I don't even know.
It's something we're actually really passionate about, is getting the kids. That might be the only time they get to come see that. And that's one thing we kind of pride ourselves on doing, is to get involved with kids.
What's the start date?
It's the 26th and 27th is our Kids Days, that Thursday and Friday. The carnival will start the 25th, that Wednesday, which, is our opening ceremonies, and we'll have various school groups come out, their cheerleaders, pep squads. Natchez Central Band is coming this year. They called, asked if they could come. The Northwestern cheerleaders is normally there, Vic is there. It's just a lot of the junior highs, the high schools and things like that, they'll come out. And it's a way for us to, be able to get them out, but also, help kind of supplement our gate a little bit that night. But that'll start at 6 o'clock on that Wednesday.
When's it end?
What, the carnival?
The whole fair?
Saturday, the 28th. Yeah, it's the 25th to the 28th is the carnival. And like I said, it kicks off with the rodeo next weekend, the 20th. 20th and 21st is the rodeo, and then that Sunday is the horse show. Everybody brings their exhibits Monday. Then Tuesday is our FFA competition, which we have 13 teams this year for our FFA competition. And we have teams from all over the state come. Como, Sterlington, Ouachita, Natchez Central, actually we have 2 teams in this year. And we give them a set of plans, and they have 3 hours to take it from start to finish. And then we judge them after that. And in fact, Tractor Supply, and just got a big donation from Harbor Freight earlier, for things for the FFA. So each team will take a bucket of stuff from those two businesses back home with them to use in their programs.
Did you have to limit some teams this year? Did you have?
No.
You didn't have to?
No. We can take up to 22 is what we can take under the barn. And, but this year, they put another FFA competition the same time as ours, so some of the schools are going to that, but we still have 13 teams, and so that's still a good thing.
Well, I can tell you that Eloy family is gonna be supplementing the gate ourselves, so. Gotta get those $75 all you can ride passes.
Yeah, it was $5 to get in the gate and $25 ride-on band, so we're the cheapest around, and we have one of the best carnivals around too, the bigger carnivals.
And our rodeo should be a good show too, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
On those days, y'all have accommodations for our exceptional children with disabilities and all of that, autism.
Yes, ma'am. We, actually, Natchitoches Arc has called, they come every year, they bring, their members, it's second grade on down, but we don't limit, if they wanna come, by all means. We're not really set up for handicap, as far as for wheelchairs and things like that, but we make do. We have some side-by-sides that's out there that, we can get them to where they need to be. But yeah, the only thing we had to cut out was our seniors, our sassy seniors, because we're not set up, for the bathrooms and things like that, for the handicap, for the bathrooms. But everything else is a go, so. Yeah. And they really enjoy coming through the livestock barn and seeing the animals and things like that. They don't.
Well, some kids still think that their meat just comes from the store, they don't actually know where it comes from.
Yeah. And they'll see us like a few years we had like Brahmas out there, they had the hump. Oh, look at that camel, and that's just, no. But it's really educated, the chicken born, things like that with the chickens and the ducks and all that. So that's all there too for them to be able to see and do.
I was there a year before last, I think, during the Kids Day, and it was great. I mean, you see, I know the majority of those kids that were there were not going to have the opportunity to go to the fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was our only chance. And it was cool to see. Y'all did a good job with it, and do a good job with it.
Thank you. We try to add different things each year, so it's not always the same thing, but our presenters, these that are here, I mean, they love it.
Yeah.
They love it.
We can always count on them to come.
Yeah. And, we may end up having a few more, that are kind of, right now, they're like, well, we're trying to get our people together and things like that, but it's, we have plenty of room on the grounds, and so we try to do as much as we can. But appreciate whatever y'all can do. And, like I said, the schools have been signing up, but some said, well, we didn't know anything about it, so maybe if we could shoot out an email and just tell them again.
I'll tell them again because I emailed them the day
Yeah,
you came in and I said, by the way, we're covering the cost of buses, so.
Yeah, and that's great. That
We
helps us
appreciate
out.
that.
Yeah. Tremendously.
We like to see it packed.
Yeah, as many as possible. And on that Friday after the 27th, we do 300 lake quarter dinners that we grill for all of our kids-based presenters, our sponsors, our security, all of that. So we've got cookers, people that come out at 6 o'clock in the morning to start cooking for us that day.
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Walston won't be able to come since he's a sassy senior, but I think the rest of us will try to make it.
We'll put you somewhere, Lee, that's fine. But appreciate y'all, thank you, and thanks for letting us know.
Thank y'all.
And, yeah, any other questions, anybody? All right, good deal, thank y'all.
Thank you. Mr. Benfield, no real updates. I think I supplied to everyone a lengthy response to the community today about how we make decisions about weather and how difficult that is and how it's something that is an imperfect science. So I won't belabor that point. But suffice to say, we will be out of school tomorrow, but we believe we'll be back up and running normally on Thursday.
We do have a professional amateur meteorologist in the community that will be busy on Facebook.
My wife included. So.
I'd like to thank the superintendent for listing on his report this week the stipends and the dates that are going to be voted on and hit. I think that was very, very wise of you to cut the questions to none. There they are in front of you.
And if you also noticed, I put that the October 15th stipend is up to a vote. It's not a for sure thing, so. I
I
try-
think you said tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. We got business. All right. Board members, any questions for the superintendent on his report? Okay. Well, we're moving into new business. And, I'll offer a motion to approve resolution 1.
Second.
Hold on a second, is that 4B?
That is correct, 4B.
We had to offer public comment, which I guess we don't have any.
Motion was by,
Benefield, second by Dancy. Any comment on this from the public? Mr. Lee, from your guidance from the consultant, how much comment time do we need to allow?
There's nobody here to comment, I would say we do close comments, it just needs to be offered. It's not the 3-minute rule, it's just whatever comment.
Okay. Well, comments have been solicited and no takers. We will need a roll call vote on this millage. Justin?
Mr. Danzy,
Yes.
Mr. Matoyer,
Yes.
Mr. Benefield,
Yes.
Ms. McGaskey,
Yes.
Ms. Palmer,
Yes.
Ms. Harvey,
Yes.
Mr. Frady,
Yes.
Mr. Nicholson,
Yes.
Ms. Page.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, sir.
Where's the safe button? Oh, come on.
Okay, 4D, set forth the adjusted millage rates, roll forward to the millage rates not to exceeding the maximum authorized rate. This is a action item, Mr. Washington?
It's me reading it into the record,
Okay.
was what me setting it forth. That's the action. Motion. So I guess you have a motion to accept the fact that I read it into the record.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Nicholson. Roll call vote, Mr. Mike?
All right, this is 4D.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting this.
It's okay.
Mr. Benefield offered,
That's correct.
and second by Mr. Nicholson.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Danzy,
Yes.
Mr. Matoyer,
Yes.
Mr. Benefield,
Yes.
Ms. McGaskey,
Yes.
Ms. Palmer,
Yes.
Ms. Harvey,
Yes.
Mr. Frady,
Yes.
Mr. Nicholson,
Yes.
Ms. Page.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, board members. 4F, I'd offer that, adopt the authorized millages, taxes. Resolution 2.
This is the rule of ordinance.
I'll second.
We have a second by Mr. Nicholson. Any comments on this from the public or from board members? We'll close comments at this time. Mr. Mike, can you do a roll call vote on this one as
I
well?
can. Who was the initial motion by?
By me.
Mr. Frady.
Second by Mr. Nicholson.
I appreciate Kanika a lot. Mr. Danzy,
Yes.
Mr. Matoyer,
Yes.
Mr. Benefield,
Yes.
Ms. McGaskey,
Yes.
Ms. Palmer,
Yes.
Ms. Harvey,
Yes.
Mr. Frady,
Yes.
Mr. Nicholson,
Yes.
Ms. Page.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, board members. Section 5, consent agenda, I'd like to take a minute to peruse that.
There are 2 additional items on that.
Uh,
These are not, as y'all recall, for out-of-state travel, when it goes over a certain amount, it comes to the board. On these 2, though, they receive a stipend, and this has traditionally been one that y'all approve, or that it comes to y'all every year. So we felt that it's not over the $7,500 threshold, but since y'all approved the stipend, we felt it necessary to leave that with y'all.
Okay.
So we need to vote on C and D both?
Well, if it's consent agenda, y'all can take it.
We can take them together.
They receive a stipend as in, what do you mean, money for the trip, or what?
Correct, it's through FFA, yes.
Okay.
So,
Now, I see one of them say for training. I thought, it's just when they're going for a competition, I thought we would pay for them to go to that.
this is, this is one that y'all done for way past my time period. I think it's where they go on the trip with the kids, but then the part of it is also training for the sponsors as well.
Okay, board members, do we have an offer for the consent agenda?
I'll offer that.
I'll second.
We have an offer by Mr. Danzy, a second by Ms. Barbara Page. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Okay, information reports. Ms. Rashow.
Good evening, everyone. Real short, this is the updated information for federal programs. ESSER, we're working on closing ESSER out. We have a good, strong plan to make sure that we expend our funds, and they're geared towards our capital project completions, making sure our schools have high-quality curriculum and technology needs are met. For the super app, which are our Title I, Title II funds and redesign funds, that budget is still in review with the State Department. As soon as that review has been completed, my plan is to share it with the board. Under federal programs, we have early childhood funds that we use to support scholarships in Natchitoches Parish to early care and education systems who have been awarded academic approval. We just submitted a 3-year proposal to the Rapides Foundation in the total amount of $3.1 million. I actually worked with her over the weekend to fine tune some things before she sent that off. And so we're very excited about that because what it does is it sustains the birth of 3 scholarships that we provide for families. And this year we provided we will provide at the end of this month, our target is 168. I believe, don't quote me, I believe we're at 136 right now. Just some quick public pre-K updates. We did open up pre-K year-round applications. We've gotten a lot of phone calls, parents who are pretty upset because they're now on a wait list. So we have 9 families on a wait list at Elkington. We have 1 family at Fairview. I know that's not up there, but we just had some updates. So I wanted to make sure everything was represented. And then from our second round at Provençal, we have 8 families. All of our families have been offered options for early care and education at some facilities as part of our Natchitoches Parish Early Childhood Network. So the early care centers that I just spoke to you about, they also have four-year-old programs. And so at any time, our families who submit an application through our office and they are over income or they are not pleased with the school in which their child is zoned, we talk them through our different options at early care and education centers, and we work with them and the directors to, if they choose to move them in that direction. So we also work with Save the Children Head Start as another option. It's very important that we talk to our families and understand what their needs are. Seeing that public pre-K ends traditionally at 3 o'clock, some families need something that will, because of their job, open until later. And so I just really want to commend the early childhood team, Ms. Melissa White and Jana Maggio, Ms. Bowles, and all of them for the work that they do in keeping this program going. So any questions, comments?
Do we have I knew there was a program through the state whereby we get scholarship monies. I think the office was located off of Etnylad. For scholarship monies that, where that particular office, they do applications for state funding for
CCAP.
scholarship? Is that still in existence, right?
CCAP is still
Is CCAP,
available,
That's the name of
child care assistant program.
Okay.
You can apply through the state website. Now, they have a healthy wait list as well. I think they're about a year and a half behind when someone applies. Yes, funding for early childhood was cut $9 million, so there's that. But yeah, they do. We help with families that need technical support for CPAP. It's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of our families coming in, and we help them fill out and make sure that they have everything to upload
for that program?
for that program. Yes,
Oh, that's awesome.
we do. We just don't have the money. And one last thing, we have supported 62 families that are considered homeless in our district. And so we've been hitting the ground running, federal programs.
May I ask why you up here, Mr. Bradshaw? Because I know how long you want. Didn't want to miss you today. Can you give us a status update on the program with the request for Smart Start after school tutoring? Where we at with that?
So,
Getting
yeah, let me,
communication.
we talked to the schools last Friday, we had a principal meeting, and they are, they were given all their options for after-school tutoring, tutoring in general. That applies to anyone who has K through 5 students. So we offered them that opportunity to do the Steve Carter literacy. I will tell you that there are multiple, they've been contacted by multiple vendors, all trying to do this similar thing, and I think that's one of them. We have not, as a district, because the state identifies who's a legitimate vendor, it's really about the principals, the vendors reaching out to them and principals deciding what makes the best choice. Because, for example, some of the vendors want to do virtual. Some of the vendors want to hire our own teachers. So they're working with them to decide, and I think that was one of the ones that came up. And I know that, for example, I know that Weaver is definitely going with a Steve Carter literacy vendor. I'm not sure who theirs is. But they were all given all those options and told that they have to put whatever they're doing with tutoring, they're having to put that into their school improvement plans, because even if they do the Steve Carter piece, we as a district have to fund from federal programs the transportation piece. And in order for us to fund the transportation piece, it has to be in their school improvement plan. So it's progressing. We're not going to have after school until October 1?
We're aiming for October 1, September 30.
Now the high schools, yeah, the high schools are already doing it because they're doing credit recovery and attendance recovery. But anyone below high school isn't starting until October 1, and that's because they have to have that in their school improvement plans.
Okay. My understanding is you all have been in communication with Ms. Travis, and so she advised that they've extended assistance to students K through 12, ELA and math, that is paid for by them, and the Louisiana Department of Education reimburses them. And it's twice a week. They pay coordinators at the various schools, 1,500. The tutors, certified tutors, excuse me, are paid and last about an hour and a half twice a week. So I hope that we'll give great consideration for this program, being known that we have to be on the pocket for it.
The only problem is the students have to sign up through LDOE. They're not signing up through us. And
okay,
Absolutely.
let me say this because I'm trying to get some clarification. I was told by Ms. Travis that there was a volunteer from another school district that would come and assist with setting up the registration, assisting the families with the registration process. So there, and I think Mr. McDermott is the new representative from the Smart Start, the independent coordinator for this district. So they're willing to do everything they can do to assist to get set up in our district.
We'll mention, because I think they've reached out to the district, we'll mention them to the schools. It's right now, I'll just be honest with you, they're being inundated with probably 10 different vendors who are all trying to get that same thing. And in this case, because it is school-based, they're able to choose. And some of them, that sounds like they're offering a wide range of benefits to choosing them, whereas others are not. So I would imagine the cream will rise to the top on that one. But we'll make sure and mention that to the schools as a viable option.
Okay, thank you so much. It just seemed that it would be a priority one to consider. I just want to pass the information on. When she calls me,
Well, and I'll tell you,
Well, I appreciate it, thank you.
Ms. Rochelle can tell you, we were able to, really through her actions and smart planning, the same level of after-school tutoring that we had under ESSER, we're going to be able to continue post-ESSER. So we're very excited about that. Every student, virtually every student has an opportunity for after-school tutoring now in the parish. So.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Randall. Mr. Lee, any change in sales tax?
No, sir.
Ms. Page's report doesn't mention any asterisks or changes. Can you talk about the child nutrition?
I can. The reason that Ms. Hicks isn't here is because there's really nothing to report because their August, they don't have a new claim because the August claim is in remediation and to be sent back or whatever. So she has nothing to update. Her only update was she's excited about the new freezer system because I don't think we'll lose power, but if we were, that would have been, taken care of.
Backup generator.
We back up and everything's centralized, so.
Okay. Mr. Jacob.
So first thing I want to mention, I have in the middle here that I was really hoping to have our GPS tracking for the parents live by the end of today. We're not there. I'm 8 short. Currently, we have updated on the website what we can, but right now I have 8 actual routes that are short from being on this, and that's 6 park outs, and which they park at their home. One is in Ashland. They're parked all over, so it's kind of hard for us to send a mechanic just out to their house in 8 different directions. But they all know to come in, and I'm pretty sure we're coming back on Thursday. They will be in Thursday morning to have that GPS put into their bus.
And we discussed with Jacob that we're going to go live officially. The good news is we've been beta testing all week, and on the routes that we have the GPS tracker, it's working beautifully. It's a 30-second latency. So I think Mr. Kozat actually tested it the first time. So he saw the bus come by his house, and then he had the live tracker on his phone, and 30 seconds later, it was where it was. So that's really good latency, and I'm saying that like I even know what that word means. But that's really good for the service, so parents can realize that within a 30-second delay, that bus is where it's at. And I think we're officially going to be out of beta testing with his logistics and us being satisfied with our side of it. We'll officially should be good to go Monday, and we'll put out a press release on that so parents can start using their app or going to the website. We've actually been telling principals already to kind of be looking at it because they typically will call Jacob or they'll call me, where's the bus at? So this is also going to cut down on the calls to your office and the calls to our office.
I actually met up with Mrs. Williams today, and she was tracking the bus while I was speaking to her.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it's working in that regard.
We also found something that we had to adjust because it starts with an arrow, but we really wanted a bus to be the thing that shows on the thing. And they're actually working on that possibility. But when we changed the icon, if it was going north, the bus was right side up. As soon as it would go south, the bus looked like it was flipped upside down. And we realized that wasn't the best for public relations. So we went with the arrow.
Much improved.
I'm glad you found that, not somebody else.
Well, Mr. Kozat did.
My bus is upside down.
So on that note, do I have, I'm here to eat my humble pie about, promising a date and not being able to hit it.
Well, we just learned that many years ago not to promise any date, so it's a
Yeah.
learning curve for everyone.
Hey,
Under
look,
promise, over deliver.
We said September, so September it shall be.
Mr. Watson, you're able to, check into that deal and go down?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's gonna be-
So,
Without, you don't have to go.
without going into great detail, that will not
Has this
happen.
been resolved? You're
Yes,
good?
sir. It's
All
been
right.
resolved.
That's great.
District employee, y'all have actually sent us drivers in the past. Now we are looking for monitors, which is a very noble profession. I'm specifically looking for monitors who may attend East Weaver, LP Vaughn, or NJH. If you know anyone in your schools that is interested in making some money on the side, we can 100% work within their
Email me and
time constraints.
we'll send it out, a mass email to all staff.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
we'll put it on the newsletter. We
Got you. Okay,
and
great.
pinpoint them specifically.
And lastly, I'd just like to say, over the course of last month and going into this month, there have been some kind words coming from the members of our school board, members of our communities, and I just wanted to thank y'all very much. This is my first year for a startup, so I guess I didn't know what to expect, and once I got in the middle of it, I was like, wow. That's all I can say. Wow. But I appreciate some coming to me saying this is the smoothest that it's run. I don't have a frame of reference, but I really do appreciate the kind words, and we will continue to improve and do better for this community and this district. So, y'all have anything else for me?
I wanted to ask, and thank you all, we appreciate the tracking system
Right.
and improvements made by the Echo bus ride system. But there were some concerns in regards to when we had during the hot weather months, hopefully it's over with, some concerns in regards to, you did mention that there were some buses that didn't have sufficient air conditioning.
Right.
And we got some complaints because of the concern for the students.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know if that issue is gonna be resolved for the next year?
That issue is resolved.
It has been
Yeah,
resolved?
we are
have-
on top of it now.
Okay.
So
We were not on top of it before, but we are now.
So all of your buses got air now?
Yes, ma'am. Everyone that's in operation, we have spares, but we don't foresee them going onto the routes, and we have a significant backstock of compressors, Freon, anything that we need to fix air should it go out.
So when school started, how many buses that drivers were driving without any air?
Well, whenever school started, we knew of some significant issues, with buses after school ended. And, we worked through that log over the summer. And, for example, I have a bus, 113. I put new compressor on the front, and as soon as it started driving its route in the hot summer month, the compressor on the back went out. We replaced the compressor on the back, and the compressor on the front went out again. So it's a balancing act to make sure that each of these buses, continue to be maintained. It's just whenever our maintenance gets hit with the full front of every bus having an issue on startup, it takes us a little bit longer to attack. But now that we are we have identified buses that have this problem, and we just aren't willing to send them on routes. We have a significant, just to be clear, we have a significant back of spares that have AC working. I have, believe, 4 that don't have AC that we do not foresee using until we have that air completely fixed.
Cause I know, I had some parents, the children were getting off the bus, and I actually saw this, the children were soaking wet. The bus driver had all the windows down, but the kids were sweating, and her air was not working, she said.
I just wanted to make sure that you know what bus number this was?
Yes, I do.
You mind getting with me after and sending it to me? I'll check on that because I don't want that to be the case.
Okay.
It's good to hear that it's gonna be resolved because, and I know that there's something that's a major issue that's being worked on,
Right.
and you don't have a guarantee that it's not gonna reoccur. But when we are getting complaints that they're saying there's no issues, echo, and then we're getting complaints indicating that there are.
Right.
Our priority is kids' safety,
Yes,
student
ma'am.
safety.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And, anytime that I have a bus come in for something like that, that first priority for it to be resolved before it goes back on route. So if we ever have a continuation of that issue, I don't hear everything, but I need to know.
Okay.
Please, I don't know if y'all have my direct line, but it's always open.
What's your number?
It's,
We'll get it later.
okay.
For those of you, I'll share his work
Dr.
work
Hewlett,
cell phone
please,
with you.
share it to everyone.
Okay.
Not a problem.
I have no problem fixing issues. That's what I'm here for.
Thank you.
All right. Y'all have a wonderful afternoon.
You too.
Please be safe. I hope it doesn't get too bad tomorrow, but you never know.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Watts.
Thank you.
Ms. Palmer.
Yes. 7 finance, 7A, discuss and consider MOU with Career Compass. I'll,
Second.
Ms. McGaskey.
yeah.
Offered by Ms. Palmer, second by Ms. McGaskey. They want to give us money and we want it. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay.
7B, discuss and consider student MMP legislative stipend dissemination date. I'll offer.
Second.
Okay, we got a second and a third. We have an offer by Ms. Palmer, second by Mr. Freydick. This stipend date will be October what, 15th?
What we're saying is,
It has to be received first. It's contingent upon reception.
yeah, so this is all contingent upon reception, which we're told should happen any day in September. But assuming it's received in September, we would like to roll it out on that October 15th payroll run.
That's
So that,
what was advertised in your newsletter.
Yes.
So Mr. Wascom, you're writing checks and you don't have money for?
Is this the
$700?
no, ma'am, the $700, so the $700, I can tell you that went out today and will hit banks tomorrow.
Okay.
This is the MFP from the legislature.
The state is gonna fund it by the end of September.
But last year, they put the money in our accounts in August, and for whatever reason, they just have not, they sent out the guidance the other day, and in the guidance, they said it would be in our accounts in September. But
Didn't we last year saying that mid-month run in October, is that when they got it?
yes, the only thing last year, we had longer to put it out last year, just because for some reason they let us go until June, which we still were about putting it out early, but this time you have to get it out before January, so I know the people would rather us, but we'd also rather not sit on it either.
So we will receive it in September and actually write the check in October, so it will be funded and everything will be good.
Yeah.
Board members,
So you say with the $750 went out today, you say?
The 700, Lee, can you speak to it exactly?
Sure, the $700 is funded through ESSER funds, it's a federal fund. This one here is a state fund.
But it went out.
It went out today,
It went out, okay.
and it will be in their banks in the morning.
All right.
And they got their GFA update on their payroll, so they should all be aware of it.
I'm glad it's with today because I was here and some of them said, well, y'all say the 15th and it's 15 falling Sunday, so we ain't gonna get it till Monday. They would keep me up in Walmart. I didn't know they were going, why y'all taking tax out of it? I said, well, we don't take tax, they'll get it at the end of the year.
can't make them happy, Mr.
No,
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay.
Oh, that concludes finance.
Thank you, Ms. Palmer. Mr. Dancy.
Item 8, we want to take A and B. It was approved by the people that went through the policies, and we went through all the policies, and I hope you read them and you remember what you read. And I'll offer those.
I'll second. Mr. Frady, that question that you had has been corrected, so.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Board members, we'd like to do a roll call vote on this item.
I'm sorry, which one?
Yeah,
Are y'all taking
yeah,
it together?
there's two separate.
Okay.
May I make the request you take them separate just because they're different items and I don't know what I'm doing?
Oh, okay.
We want to accommodate.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay,
We will take 8A first.
thank you. All right, Mr. Danzy,
Yes.
Mr. Matoir,
Yes.
Mr. Benefield,
Yes.
Ms. McGaskey,
Yes.
Ms. Palmer,
Yes.
Ms. Harvey,
Yes.
Mr. Frady,
Yes.
Mr. Nicholson,
Yes.
Ms. Page.
Yes.
Motion passed.
So you need a new motion for B, correct?
Correct.
Right, 8B, and I'll offer that motion for 8B.
I'll second.
We got a
Offered
motion by
Danzy,
Mr.
second by
Danzy,
Mr. Nicholson.
by Mr. Nicholson. Take a vote.
Roll call again, sir.
All right, Mr. Danzy,
Yes.
Mr. Matoir,
Yes.
Mr. Benefield,
Yes.
Ms. McGaskey,
Yes.
Ms. Palmer,
Yes.
Ms. Harvey,
Yes.
Mr. Frady,
Yes.
Mr. Nicholson,
Yes.
Ms. Page.
Yes.
Motion passed. Save.
Mr. Dean.
That concludes executive report.
Thank you. Board members, any additional questions or comments from me? Mr. Matoir, do you have a message? for
I
the
have
board?
a, question about the board, the retreat, what day?
17.
Next one,
Yes, ma'am, and I'll send y'all details on the location.
5 to 7.
All right.
I move we adjourn.
I second it. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say nay. Thank you, board members.
Thanks, y'all. Try not to fly away. 10 mile an hour wind.